Hola amigos, we are back again, this time with another interesting fact and figures about the ever-famous LeBron James. As one of the richest NBA players, King James has managed to get the royal treatment to his money from playing basketball, making smart investments that have positioned him well to turn his hefty NBA paycheck into an even heftier personal portfolio. In fact, his money moves have even caught the eye of the nation's best-known investor, Warren Buffett. LeBron James has accomplished what few can do. This star athlete, investor, and philanthropist have impressed billionaire Warren Buffett with his business savvy. People really do have minds that function better than other people in certain areas that you can't give a test for, said Buffett to the USA. And LeBron, in addition to a lot of other talents, he has a money mind, and he gets stuff. And we believe that he will soon be rich enough to cross the net worth of Warren Buffett too. The further video will give you 7 reasons why LeBron James will be richer than Warren when he will be of age. The success on and off the court enabled James to create generational wealth for his family, built in 16 years of hefty playing salaries, the most lucrative endorsement portfolio in the sport, and savvy business moves. The biggest money for James has always been off the court, with his endorsement earnings annually outstripping his playing salary, sometimes by a factor of 2 or 3. Coming up are the specific acts or reasons that show that LeBron soon will richer enough. So, let's begin. Number 7. He never acts on impulse. According to James, if someone offers you a deal that has a shot clock on it, there's a pretty good chance it's because they don't want to give you the opportunity to do the research necessary to see why it's not worth your while. He did believe in his statement and acted upon it. When asked about his best money decisions, LeBron James recently told listeners of needing dough on Uninterrupted that he was faced with a crucial decision at the tender age of 18 when former Reebok CEO Paul Fireman offered him $10 million to sign an endorsement deal with the company. The deal came with a caveat though: sign with us now before talking to Adidas or Nike. He ultimately reasoned that the only reason why Fireman would make such a lucrative offer is that he knew James was worth much more. James ultimately signed a $90 million deal with Nike en route to the massive $1 billion lifetime contract that followed after building his relationship with the company. Number 6. Equality matters for him. You can frequently get a lot more value by taking equality and becoming an investor rather than just a gun for hire. Another belief he trusted upon. Case in point, the other best money decision that James cited in his Needing Dough interview was Beats headphones. James accepted a small equity stake in the company in exchange for wearing the headphones back in 2008 when the company was first starting. His endorsement probably could have grabbed him a decent payday at the time, but by taking a piece of the company instead, James ultimately scored a reported $30 million for his stake in the company when it ultimately sold to Apple, the biggest equity cash payout for a professional athlete in history at the time in 2014. Number 5. Limited frivolous spending. Of course, not everyone can secure equity deals in exchange for endorsements. However, there's one money lesson from James that you can take advantage of without having to be a superstar. Don't spend unless you have to. This theory of James made him what he is today, and further is definitely going to help him to earn and save big. James is actually known among his teammates and the NBA as the cheapest man in the league, despite having one of the biggest paychecks. The basketball star told ESPN Rachel Nichols, "I'm not turning on data roaming. I'm not buying any apps. I still got Pandora with commercials on. Funny thing for a rich man though." Number 4. Invests in what he knows. James has certainly leveraged his ability to spot brands with long-term potential and secure equity deals early on that generate big returns. In addition to his investment in Beats, James has also turned an investment in professional sports into a big return. In 2011, he took a 2% stake in the Premier League soccer team Liverpool in lieu of a $6.5 million equity over cash once again, and that has since grown to value of over $32 million. Although James clearly had to do a lot of additional research to be sure, the investment was worth it. Sticking to a business he was intimately familiar with most likely helped him understand the opportunity he was getting when he took equity. He also walked away from a $15 million in guaranteed money from McDonald's to back startup franchise Blaze Pizza. James has certainly leveraged his ability to spot brands with long-term potential and secure equity deals early on that generate big returns. It is the fastest-growing restaurant chain ever, and the value of the investment by James and his partners has soared from $1 million to $25 million. Number 3. Diversify. A big part of why LeBron James is such a force on the court is his diverse skill set. From scoring and rebounding to spreading the ball around, James does it all on both ends of the court. However, diversifying isn't just a strategy for success in his game, it's part of how he has found success outside of basketball. James is a well-known public figure who has leveraged his public exposures into success as an endorser and actor while building his portfolio as an investor, producer, and businessman outside of the public eye. So, even if James were to suddenly lose his scoring stroke on the court or his ability to sell sneakers, he would still have avenues available to keep making money. Number 2. His endorsements. Sports giant Nike has been James's biggest benefactor since he entered the league. James has inked 2 renewals with Nike since his initial rookie pact. The latest was signed in late 2015 and is a lifetime deal that Carter, his business manager, says will pay out at least $1 billion. James has pitched for more than 15 brands during his pro career. His total endorsement earnings, including the Nike deal, will approach $600 million by the end of the NBA season. But his net worth was bolstered by a series of lucrative deals beyond the traditional straight cash endorsement deal. And number 1, the entertainment side. His move to Los Angeles this summer as a free agent puts him in the heart of the entertainment capital of the world. In addition to Uninterrupted, which got a $15.8 million investment from Time Warner in 2015, James has his own production company, Spring Hill Entertainment. It created TV shows like The Wall and Survivor's Remorse and is working on a remake of the 1990 film House Party. Okay, so Warren Buffett is not on record regarding his opinions about either the classic 1996 Michael Jordan/Bugs Bunny film Space Jam or the current plans for a sequel starring James and produced by Ryan Coogler of Black Panther and Creed fame. However, the first flick had a total lifetime gross of $230 million. For the sequel, James, a noted expert on slam dunks, is already on board, so this has to be the can't-miss movie of 2020, right? LeBron James, in a short span of time, has achieved milestones and earned big. Warren Buffett himself is inspired by him. "You have to get to know him," Buffett said. "LeBron's not initially really talkative. He's savvy. He's smart about financial matters. It's amazing to me that maturity he exhibits. I know that if I had been famous at that age, I would have had trouble keeping my feet on the ground." Those are pretty big compliments coming from Buffett, the world's leading investment guru, who at 82 could easily be the grandfather of James. Yet the age difference and James's lack of college degree haven't been a barrier to friendship that includes Buffett providing occasional business advice. The reasons we just went through in the video are the main causes that LeBron would definitely make his place at a much higher level than Warren Buffett. As of 2020, Warren Buffett's net worth is an estimated $66.7 billion, whereas LeBron is always showing us that records are meant to be broken, and with so many achievements on his name and millions of fans all over the world, he has acquired the moniker King James, quickly becoming the highest paid basketball player of our days, bringing his wealth to the jaw-dropping sum of $480 million. And who knows, maybe you're eventually going to have to convince your grandchildren that famed investor LeBron James actually used to be a basketball player way back when. Though maybe don't hold your breath on Buffett making a successful transition to NBA superstar. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, thumbs up if you've liked it, and do hit the subscribe button so that you won't be missing out on any interesting videos from now on.